Greenwald,
Present.
Garrell,
Present.
Buckman,
Here.
Hughes is not here, Garcia,
Here.
Holloway,
Here.
Kellenberger.
Here.
We have a quorum. First year of the city report. I'll be quick, we have a large agenda if you haven't noticed, one of the largest I've seen in my time here. But the first thing I want to say is I want to give a shout out to the Lake and Tourism Department for the 4th of July. We had a lot of people out there. Heather, as you're aware, I heard great things about the band, fireworks of course. So I want to give a big thank you for all the work. There's a lot of work that goes into that. So thank you to the Lake Department and the Tourism Department, Stacy. They did a great job this year, I think. The second thing I just want to go over really quick is this was the thing that happened with the new website, is we have an alert system that you can sign up and get text messages and email alerts for when there's board order alerts, public alerts, when you want agendas for meetings, all right? And that went haywire for a day or two, and we got that fixed. So for the public, that's working again. You'll get alerts for boil orders. You just have to go to the city website, click on alerts or type in alerts, type in your email or text number, and you'll get alerts for whatever you want. You can pick from a list, all right? So that system is working again, and if you weren't aware, it's a great system. You can be aware of boil orders, public notices, agendas, pretty much anything you want, all right? Just want to let the public be aware that's working again. And that's all I had. Did the council have anything you wanted to add? All right, next year we have public participation. Jeffrey Bates, would you like to step up, please?
Thank you. I guess I need a microphone, I guess. So now I can speak loud enough.
And just so you know, you'll have 3 minutes.
I won't need that much time. I've lived here all my life, and I know that everybody like me is patriotic, as we all are. But my main concern is the fireworks. I believe the fireworks have really gotten bigger, louder. My neighbor who was in the Vietnam War, like Ray was, and he struggled with PTSD, and he asked me if I could come up there and speak on behalf of him, which I am, obviously. And my main concern, obviously, is respect to the neighbors. Vets are really suffering from it too as well. But the Vietnam veterans, obviously, the veterans who've been in the service are really struggling with this. My main concern is if we could just somehow get rid of the big bombs that they're shooting off now. I mean, when I grew up, they had the little bitty bottle rockets, and you wouldn't hear them as much as we have them now. And I don't know if that's something the city council would have to have a city ordinance on. I know the state, as I know it, it's illegal to shoot those kind of fireworks off, my understanding. I know the chief's here, maybe he can address it as well, I don't know. But what I read on from Google, it's telling us that the fireworks from the state of Illinois, it's illegal to shoot fireworks. And then the time frame, what is the time frame on the fireworks when they shoot them at home? Does anybody know? Is there a city ordinance on that as well?
Quiet time is 10 o'clock.
What's that?
Quiet time is 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock? Well, they were shooting them up to 1 o'clock in the morning.
And not just 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
My neighborhood
As you
is
know.
on a week
Yeah.
before and a week after.
Sometimes up to 2 or 3 o'clock.
Yeah, and I think we just need to be addressed a little
So
bit.
you're talking basically just about in town, not the fireworks display?
Oh, no,
that they have on the lake?
I have no problem with that. Like, I enjoy that being out there, and that usually starts at 9:30,
Yeah.
gets over by 10. So, but my main concern obviously is for the people listening to the service and struggle with this. I know he was really struggling when he asked me about, if I'd come up and speak. That's all I need to know.
Thank you for coming.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate that. Kenny, did you have anything you wanted to add since he asked about the fireworks? I mean, just, if
Fireworks.
it's illegal in Illinois, it's illegal here, right? So, I mean, that's pretty much how it works.
If the city wants to get more deeply engaged in how the fireworks process occurs, they could pass an ordinance and create a display permit to allow for those types of activities, and that's under the Pyrotechnic Act in Illinois. Fireworks outside of that are illegal, but I don't know if you've noticed, but when there's 4,000 people lighting off fireworks, it's hard to go tell one of them to knock it off. So just maybe some direction as to how aggressively we want to enforce it.
I would add that everything that's sold in town from the fireworks stands are inspected by myself and the state fire marshal and are legal in the state of Illinois.
But those aren't the big,
They do
Those
have
aren't the
some.
booms that shakes you out of bed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your little dog jumping up in your face.
area bumps.
Yeah.
I think maybe we should pursue this, because I agree with some of the issues that he said. It bothers a lot of people. If you know that it's gonna happen, don't have a problem with it. But if you don't know,
Yeah, and what we've advised is if you have a problem with someone who is lighting fireworks near your home, call our regular number, report it. Generally, we send out a note leading up to the 4th of July activities to say enforce as needed. But we can certainly get more aggressive in that plan if that's the direction we wanna go.
Perfect, all right. So the first thing I have on here is we need a motion to accept the regular meeting minutes from the July 1st, 2025 meeting. Someone like to, okay, Alderperson Darrell made a motion, can I get a second, please? Alderperson Sisson, second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Garrell,
Aye.
Holloway,
Aye.
Zumwalt,
Aye.
Hughes is not here, Garcia,
Aye.
Huffman,
Aye.
Kellenberger,
I,
Sisson.
All right, motion carries. Next up, I'll need a motion to approve the expenditure report and payroll report for the current period, please. Alderperson Garcia with the first, can I get a second? Alderperson Carroll seconds. Any discussion? You all reviewed the expenditures? Roll call, please.
Garcia,
Aye.
Sisson.
Aye.
Garrell,
Aye.
Zumwalt,
Aye.
Huffman,
Aye.
Kellenberger,
I,
Holloway.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Alderperson Zumwalt, you're up first.
I make a motion to approve a resolution approving and authorizing a demolition agreement for the demolition of a structure located at 1015 West Buchanan, pin number 5-05-276-016.
second.
We have a first from Alderman Zumwalt and a second from Alderperson Kellenberger. Any discussion on this? One thing of note is all these funds are coming from a grant, correct, Brianna?
That's correct.
Perfect. Roll call, please.
Sisson.
Aye.
Garrell,
Aye.
Zumwalt,
Aye.
Huffman,
Aye.
Garcia,
Aye.
Holloway,
Aye.
Kellenberger.
I,
All right, motion carries. Alderperson Zumwalt.
I make a motion to approve a resolution approving and authorizing a demolition agreement for the demolition of the structure located at 130 West South Street, pin number 15-04-176-006.
All right, we have a motion from Alderperson Zumwalt and looks like a second from Alderperson Garrell. Roll call, please.
Zumwalt,
Aye.
Kellenberger,
I,
Sisson.
Aye.
Garrell,
Aye.
Huffman,
Aye.
Garcia,
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Alderperson Zumwalt.
I make a motion to approve an ordinance amending section 33 of the municipal code to combine the plan commission and zoning board of appeals into the planning and zoning board.
All right, I have a motion from Alderperson Zumwalt. Can I get a second, please? Alderperson Garrell beat you. I'll get a second from Alderperson Garrell. And in terms of discussion, I just want to start as to, why we're doing this. Is many years back, it was kind of flipped. Right now, there's two separate entities, and the zoning board doesn't meet as much due to the way it's formatted. And the planning meets fairly regularly. So I thought, instead of delaying the process, just put them both in one, because they talk about a lot of similar things. It really is just to streamline the process, so when someone wants a change, they're going to one committee instead of two, and then it comes here for us to approve. So really, it's just about a timing thing and just being more efficient was my thought process behind it. I don't know if Bob or Gary, if you have anything you want to add about how often they're meeting or anything like that.
However you decide to go, we'll work with it.
That works for me. How does it work for you? Any discussion about that on the floor? Roll call, please.
Holloway,
Aye.
Zumwalt,
Aye.
Huffman,
Aye.
Sisson.
Aye.
Garrell,
Aye.
Garcia,
Aye.
Kellenberger.
I,
All right, motion carries. Alderperson Zumwalt.
I make a motion to approve 2025 meeting dates for the planning and zoning board.
All right, motion from Alderperson Zumwalt. Can I get a second, please? All right, Alderperson Huffman seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Zumwalt,
Aye.
Sisson.
Aye.
Garrell,
Aye.
Huffman,
Aye.
Garcia,
Aye.
Kellenberger,
I,
Holloway.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Alderperson Zumwalt.
I make a motion to approve a resolution approving a First Amendment to funding agreement with the Illinois Housing Development
Alderperson Zuma, can I get a second? Alright, Alderperson Sisson seconds, and this is the grant I was talking about, correct, Priya?
Yes, and this amendment just gives us an additional year to spend the funds.
Perfect, any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Garrell,
Aye.
Sisson.
Aye.
Zumwalt. Huffman.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
Garcia. Kellenberger.
Aye.
Motion carries. Alderperson Kellenberger, please.
Make a motion to approve an ordinance annexing pin number 10-31-310-40004 into the corporate city limits.
Perfect, and that pin number is 10-31-400-004. We got a motion from Alderperson Kellenberger. Can I get a second, please? All right, Alderperson Zumwalt seconds. Any discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Garcia.
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
Garrell.
Aye.
Zumwalt. Huffman. Holloway.
Aye.
Sisson.
All right, motion carries. And next up, Alderperson Zumwalt.
I make a motion to approve an ordinance amending the zoning classification from agriculture A1 to industrial I for pin number 10-31-400-4.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Zumwalt. Can I get a second, please? Alderperson Kellenberger seconds. Any discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Garrell.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
Zumwalt.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
Sisson.
All right, motion carries. Alderperson Garrell, you're up.
Make a motion to accept the bid from Martin Equipment for a 2025 24-foot regular circle trailer, tilt trailer for the amount not to exceed $18,778.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Garrell. Can I get a second, please? All right, Alderperson Holloway seconds. Any discussion on this?
Was this the only bid for this particular?
There were 2 bids received and this was the lower bid.
Okay.
Perfect, any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Garrell.
Aye.
Sisson. Zumwalt. Huffman.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
Motion carries. Alderperson Holloway, please.
I make a motion to approve an ordinance amending chapter 116 of the municipal code, regulation of tobacco products and hemp products.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Holloway. Can I get a second, please? Alderperson Kellenberger seconds. Any discussion on this? This was just to clarify, right, to meet statutes essentially?
Modernizing our code.
Perfect. All right, roll call, please.
Holloway.
Aye.
Zumwalt.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Sisson. Garrell.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Hughes, or Kellenberger.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Alderperson Holloway.
I make a motion to approve an ordinance amending Title III Administration, Chapter 3.5, Police Department of the Municipal Code, creating the position of lieutenant.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Holloway. Can I get a second, please? And everybody talk at once.
I'll second it.
All right, Alderperson Zumwalt seconds. Open the floor to discussion.
So a couple things that I wanna discuss is, if with this lieutenant position, the way it would work, correct, would be, the individual would be selected from our sergeant pool, and that the Fire and Police Commission would make that, or give the advice, or have the selection, or be involved in that process, versus the other way, the Police and Fire Commission wouldn't be involved, it would be the chief of police that would be making that decision.
Yes, so there are statutes defining both. Lieutenant isn't directly spelled out under statute, but it is under positions that are governed by the Police and Fire Commission. And it does say that the promotion would have to come from the next lowest rank, which would be the sergeant. And it would follow the Police and Fire Commission promotional process. Deputy chief is outlined in statute. The city would need to pass an ordinance in order to adopt that structure. And the police chief does have the ability to appoint someone for that position.
And And then, it's my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, we currently have 5 sergeants.
Yes.
If this lieutenant position, is gonna become a position on our department, would we have the ability to then promote one of the officers to backfill that sergeant position?
So we typically have 4 sergeants, I believe. We have 5 currently because one is in the task force, so it would depend on the timing of that. Chief, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, we have 4 different shifts, so this is most generally defined as a patrol sergeant, so that they're in charge of each one of those islands. We had 4, Quincy Ferguson was the top candidate for the inspector position at the drug task force, and we did not want to limit his ability to do that based upon rank, because he was pretty obviously the best choice at the time. So when we moved him out, it created a vacancy within those 4 blocks. This may not necessarily create it, or it could. Obviously Quincy would be a candidate for that position as well, so, but we try to have 4 of those as a minimum, I guess is what I would say. We wouldn't promote just because this vacancy occurred,
So
unless one of those holds.
if Quincy decided to leave the task force and wanted to come back to fill that vacant spot, he could, and then lock us at 4.
We'd have 4 then,
Right.
and there wouldn't be an opening for a new one until a slot opened up on one of those shifts.
Could the position be to backfill Quincy's position if he
And then I guess we'd get further down the rabbit hole, but, if, let's say, one of the sergeants was the top applicant to replace Quincy,
Right.
then yes, that could create a hole.
That's all I have.
Good discussion, any further discussion?
I've flip-flopped on this probably more than I've done anything on the council, because I could see good and bad with both. I think what finally turned the corner is that, for me, is that chain of command and the hierarchy structure that you start as one. You don't immediately go from, a patrolman to police chief. And there's a structure that you go to a sergeant and then to a lieutenant and then, maybe to a chief. So, I have struggled with this because I think both of them have good points and bad points, so, and I thank the officers who did come and talk to me. There were quite a few of them, and I tried to listen as much as I could, and this is a hard decision for me more than most.
I don't think you're the only one, I think it's been hard on the process, so.
Yeah, I think when you're dealing with people, it's always difficult, right? So, but this is part of our job, it's a difficult decision, and we gotta make a decision one way or the other. And I think it's important to remember that, in my eyes, that this position was here for many years. And, in fairness, I haven't gotten a good explanation as to why it was changed, and so therefore, I'm good.
Any further discussion from anyone else?
Yeah, I have a question. I think we all have struggled with this. And I don't, and this is just my opinion, I don't think this should have been, thrown out the way it is, on us. Cause we're very limited to know all the facts and issues. One of the things that I was at first totally against this, and I'll admit that. But after I found out some more information and the structure and the police and fire commission getting involved in the decision, I think that honestly it'll be we're actually just voting on the position, not who or anything else, just the position, correct?
That's correct.
So the police and fire commission will make that decision, and then that will be the way it is.
With the chief, they'll both make that decision.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
That's a good clarification. Alderperson Garcia, did you have anything to add?
I have a couple of concerns. The first one is, a couple weeks ago, when we voted to expand, how far we go out to pull in people to work for us, we did that because we wanted to open up the pool to have more people to pull from. If we go back to lieutenant, we're restricting that to a certain group. Now, my experience working in Department of Corrections for 29 years is I could be a correctional officer, Bert can be a sergeant, but we both the same rights and abilities to put in for a lieutenant spot. If we both pass that test, you know, to qualify to be lieutenant, then it comes down to our experience, our training, we have military, our 201s, which is evaluations, and how we do an interview process. The one thing, if we do this, we're restricting it. I understand why we're doing it, because now we have the flip side. And this is not a knock on Kenny in any way, stretch or form, but no single person should have that ability just to handpick whoever they want. It should be some type of committee, because even in corrections, when you're interviewing for a lieutenant, there's 3 to 4 people that do the interview process. Each person scores them individually, and then they make that determination from the scores. So I'm caught between a rock and a hard place too, because I don't wanna limit the pool of candidates, but at the same time, there's gotta be some type of structure in place that allows for more than one individual to make that final choice. So if Ray is correct, and this is how we can vote on, it handcuffs us as well.
And I do just want to note, that Chief Riker has agreed that he would form a committee under the deputy chief structure. So while statute does give that sole authority, there is the ability for the chief to utilize a group of individuals to help come to that decision. You are correct, Lieutenant does say, you would promote from the next lowest rank, so, definitely pros and cons to both.
Is there anything that, just shoot out hypothetical, that just suppose this committee picks out 3, and the chief's not satisfied with those 3, could he in retrospect say, okay, I don't want any of those 3, I want this individual?
By ordinance, yes, and by statute, yes. That being said, the city council appoints the police chief, so, if he puts a committee together and agrees to follow the committee's guidance, then I think there would be some authority there. Chief, anything to add to that?
Well, I don't think I'd get a committee together just to argue with them, but,
Yeah.
so the reason this was created is that when it came out of our union, it still lived within a union process. The selection through Police and Fire Commission doesn't only land in just who picks that promotional candidate, they also handle all discipline moving forward, outside of some suspensions that you can do as an administrator, so, that is no longer, in my opinion, an at-will employee. That's it's a combination of an at-will and a union employee who is granted union powers when it comes to disciplinary matters and some other things, and the ability to appeal discipline or any of those types of activities. When I left, initially I was appointed as a lieutenant. We just really didn't, I don't think we did a lot of work when we removed it from the union contract. It just stayed in the exact same world, and we didn't create it as being any different of a position. The deputy chief is exceedingly common in the state of Illinois, as a second in command. Used to, you could select someone from outside of the department. They've changed that statute in the last several years, but it aligns with the police chief position, and that you then become an at-will employee. You can do a letter that would allow you to go back and revert, and there's some statutory language that attaches to that. And I had been in talks with previous chiefs and other things about this change. I effected that change a couple of years ago because I thought it better fit the department and the definition of that position, in how it is not only promoted, but how it's administered after that promotion. So I've stated before, I would form a committee. Whatever that committee decided, we would come up with the top candidate, to limit that to sergeants. It would immediately negate several of our employees' opportunity to even sit down and say why they ought to do that or what ideas they may have. I think my opinion would be to move forward with the deputy chief position we've already discussed a couple of years ago, that was passed unanimously here. And, at least give those people an opportunity to talk to stakeholders and why they think that they would be a good fit. That's just my opinion, so.
Okay, why are if we created this position as deputy chief, was it 2 years ago? We're redoing it, why? Cause the ordinance wasn't passed, and so it
Yes.
really doesn't.
So by state statute, in order to adopt a deputy chief position, you have to pass an ordinance. An ordinance was not passed at that time. So I brought this to the council and said, we need to pass an ordinance. It was my understanding that the council had some concerns at that point in time with the deputy chief structure, and decided to go the lieutenant route. So whichever way the council goes, we need to pass an ordinance for that structure. At this point in time, the council has directed to put lieutenant on the agenda, so tonight what you're voting for is whether to approve a lieutenant position for the city.
And strangely enough, that was also never implemented in the ordinance system.
That's what I was just gonna
In
ask, but the lieutenant has
2005.
never been, that ordinance was never passed either.
No, if someone just lived in status quo up until 2003 when it re-raised these questions.
It was within contracts, it was, the position had existed for decades, but it wasn't codified in our code. So either way, we need to put this position within our code of ordinances.
Another question?
Go ahead.
Who would pick the people for this committee? And what position or what rank or whatever, what would they come from?
So state statute, allows for the council to approve a deputy chief structure via ordinance. And the way the deputy chief works in statute is that it gives the police chief the ability to, appoint a deputy chief. So it would be the chief who put the committee together and oversaw that.
And that includes the lieutenant's position. He would,
No, the
okay,
lieutenant's
who would
position
pick those
runs,
people?
it goes through the police and fire commission. So it follows the testing structure that sergeant does. It would be sergeants who are considered, and it would fall through the police and fire commission. The chief is involved in that process.
We're losing something here.
So there's a formal committee structure with lieutenant.
Yeah.
With deputy chief, it gives the police chief the ability to appoint a deputy chief. But at the police chief's will, he can create a committee to assist him in making that decision if he wishes to.
And the same way with the lieutenant's position, correct?
No,
He-
the lieutenant runs through the police and fire commission.
Solely.
Yes.
So, Ray, I would relate it to, lieutenant is council and mayor making decisions, top of the line, both equal, okay? When you do, the way we're talking about potentially with the deputy chief, okay, we're talking Kenny, definitely by statute has the authority to make the pick. And then for us, to relate it to, we have EDC, planning commission, they make suggestions, but the ultimate decision is here. So that's how I kind of related the difference, in my head, if that makes sense. So he can form a committee, but
But he still has some
legally, there's
say.
no, he has full power to. The committee.
So statute reads, so what statute reads is for deputy chief, the deputy chief may be appointed from any rank by a sworn full-time officers of the municipality's police department, must have at least 5 years of full-time service as an officer. The deputy chief shall serve at the discretion of the chief, and if removed, shall revert back. And then lieutenant structure, this is for any promotional process that follows the police and fire commission. It shall provide for promotion in the fire and police departments on the basis of ascertained merit and seniority in service and examination. Shall provide in all cases where it's practical that vacancies shall be filled by promotion. All examinations shall be competitive amongst such members of the next lower rank and who desire to submit themselves for examination. So the police and fire commission identifies the top 3 candidates, and a decision, the police chief is included in the police and fire commission's decision, and they determine that the committee is the police and fire commission for lieutenant.
I have a question. When, does the police department ever hire for anything but a patrolman? So if somebody comes and applies to the police department, and they come from another police department and they have vast experience, held a, rank at another police
just
department. What's that?
Just chief is the only other external hire. A sergeant is required.
So when we hire people, they start off at the bottom of the list, regardless of
if they transferred from Chicago and they had 20 years there and just wanted to come here, they'd still start at patrolman.
There's no lateral transfer of rank.
Okay, I think that was the question.
Right, yeah, did it matter what experience or, a rank that somebody else held before, when they come here, they start off as bottom line patrolman?
Correct.
All right, is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Zumwalt,
I had to be first, didn't I?
sorry.
Aye.
She said.
Oh,
I said aye.
okay, I'm sorry.
I hesitated, but I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was-
Sisson. Garrell.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
All right, motion carries.
See.
Alderperson,
Okay, what am I at here? A motion to approve revised 2025 meeting date for the Economic Development Commission.
all right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Kellenberger, and we have a second from Alderperson Garcia. Any discussion on this? Basically, all we're doing is switching to the last Wednesday of the month, correct, Brianna?
Last Wednesday or?
Or fourth,
It's
or-
been the last Wednesday of the month traditionally, the last Monday of the
Right.
month, and we're switching to the last Wednesday of the month.
Just a technical change.
And the committee did approve this change.
Roll call, please.
Garrell.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
Zumwalt.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
Sisson.
Aye.
Motion carries. Alderperson Kellenberger, please.
Make a motion to approve an ordinance approving and authorizing the mayor to execute an amended development agreement in TIF number 1 project area with Caleb and Rachel Osborne, 219 North State Street, and other actions related thereto.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Kellenberger. Can I get a second, please? All right, Alderperson Huffman seconds. Any discussion on this? Roll call, please.
Garcia.
Aye.
Sisson.
Aye.
Garrell.
Aye.
Zumwalt. Huffman.
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
Motion carries. Alderperson Kellenberger.
I make a motion to approve an ordinance approving and authorizing the mayor to execute an amended development agreement in TIF number 1 project area, RCO Holdings LLC, for 114 West Ryder Street, and other action related thereto.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Kellenberger and a second from Alderperson Garrell. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Zumwalt.
Aye.
Sisson.
Aye.
Garrell.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
Motion carries. Alderperson Kellenberger.
I make a motion to approve an ordinance approving the authorizing the mayor to execute a development agreement with SS Campbell LLC for 14 Litchfield Plaza and other actions related thereto.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Kellenberger. Can I get a second, please? All right, Alderperson Zumwalt seconds.
And just for clarification, can you explain who and what this is?
Sure, so this is an existing strip center owned by SNS Campbell, and Shannon Hall is here representing them this evening if you have any questions for them. They are proposing to bring in a Five Below, and they need to significantly remodel the space to get that ready for this tenant.
That's just that one portion of the,
It's where the old Sears was. Yep.
okay, and that is for, I think one of our last meetings, there were 2 people that were bidding on this.
So we have previously had a developer show interest in bringing forward a Five Below, and we agreed that we would award to,
Whoever.
the first person to
Yeah.
secure that, and SNS Campbell has shown that Five Below is actively pursuing this location.
Okay,
I'm excited.
Right at me, Sarah. I'm like, nobody loves this.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Sisson. Aye. Garrell.
Aye.
Zumwalt.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
Kellenberger.
aye.
Motion carries. Alderperson Kellenberger.
I make a motion to approve resolution approving and authorizing and execute a facade improvement grant agreement with ED Investments, Inc. for 109 West Edward Street, PIN number 10-33-366-36, and other actions related thereto.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Kellenberger. Can I get a second, please? All right, Alderperson Huffman seconds. Any discussion on that facade grant? Roll call, please.
Holloway,
Aye.
Zumwalt,
Aye.
Huffman,
Aye.
Sisson, Garrell,
Aye.
Garcia,
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Alderperson Huffman, please.
I make a motion to approve a resolution accepting a proposal for real estate services for Eagle Ridge subdivision and approving a real estate services contract with Lori Gardner of Century 21 Reed Bauer Realty.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Huffman.
Second, Mr. Mayor.
All right, we have a second from Alderperson Kellenberger. Any discussion on this? One thing I will say is before, Brand, we were showing everybody and you're taking around on boats, right? And we're doing a lot of work consistently, and this will really help with that workload, correct?
Yes, and the main consideration was you have to have an MLS number for property to really be, able to publish on Zillow, some of the main real estate sites, and we just weren't able to get that attention without having a licensed broker. So having a licensed broker, we found this when, someone actually went to resell or release, I should say, their lot and it was listed with an agent. We just got an influx of questions about Eagle Ridge, so we decided at that time that it would be best to list this with a licensed broker who has the resources to be able to get this out to the right platforms.
And bonus, it is a local firm that has an office here in town, which is always a plus when we can do that, so.
Is Heather still willing to do the lake tour if needed with Lori?
Yes.
Thanks.
All right, any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Garrell,
Aye.
Holloway,
Aye.
Zumwalt,
Aye.
Garcia,
Aye.
Huffman,
Aye.
Kellenberger,
Aye.
Sisson.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Alderperson Holloway, would you read this one for Alderperson Hughes, please?
Absolutely. I make a motion to approve a stipend of $400 a week for Adam Pinnock for acting city administrator duties during the maternity leave of the city administrator.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Holloway. We have a second from Alderperson Garcia. And as I open this up for discussion, I just want to note, we think Chief Pinnock will do a great job in the substitution role, but more than likely, this is the last meeting that we'll have this lady to my side here.
Just for a couple months.
She's gonna be on maternity leave, and she's been working with Chief Pinnock, and he's ready to jump on up and take on some additional responsibilities temporarily, so that's why we're doing that.
I would just like to second that. Adam's awesome, so I think he's gonna do a fantastic job.
Put that in there.
He will do great.
I will put that in there. You're gonna be awesome, Adam.
All right, any
I'm
further,
gonna try to keep the ship going straight.
I have no doubt it will.
All right, roll call, please.
Zumwalt,
Aye.
Sisson,
Aye.
Garrell,
Aye.
Huffman,
Aye.
Garcia,
Aye.
Kellenberger,
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Alderperson Garcia? Oh, Alderperson Sisson, sorry. Missed one of the 23 here. You're on, it's your turn. Your time to shine.
You got her.
I make a motion to approve a resolution waiving competitive bidding requirements and approving the authorizing of the purchase of an Alpha Elite forcible entry door for an amount not to exceed $13,975.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Sisson. Can I get a second, please? Alderperson Garrell seconds. Any discussion on that?
The same as before, was this the only bid or? the
So
only-
there aren't many products on the market like it, and this was all covered by Kilton funds, and this specific model was submitted to the Kilton Foundation, and this is the one they approved.
Okay.
Adam, do we already have something like this, and this is replacing, or this is a brand new?
We don't, so what we've used in the past is if we wanna use a door like this, we have to send people to Champaign, to the fire academy, to use it, or we can borrow one from Mavis 35, and they'll let us borrow it for a few days, so now we'll have one of our own. Most of it was covered by Kilton Fund. We didn't get our full award, so the foreign fire tax, board agreed to pick up the rest, so it doesn't cost any city actual funds. And, the Alpha Elite force door comes heavily recommended, all across the state. And we can only buy that door from this company, like they're the only ones that sell it, so that's why we did the no bidding.
One of the things, did you have, when you sent other people to train for the store, did you have to pay to do that? I'm just curious.
So it's just built into other trainings.
Okay.
It's not like go there just to use the door, so,
Right.
no, these doors will, will be, actually, we could loan it out to the police department to use for breach stuff as well, like it'll serve multiple purposes for us.
Perfect, any further discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Zumwalt. Sisson. Garrell. Huffman.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now, Alderperson Garcia.
I make a motion to approve a resolution rejecting all bids for the State Street water main replacement project.
I'll take a motion on the floor from Alderperson Garcia, can I get a second, please? All right, Alderperson Huffman seconds. Any discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
Sisson. Holloway.
Aye.
Zumwalt. Garrell.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Motion carries. Alderperson Garcia.
I make a motion to approve a resolution waiving bidding and accepting and proposal from Petersburg Plumbing and Excavating LLC for the State Street main, the water main project for the amount not to exceed $680,249.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Garcia. Can I get a second, please? Alderperson Garrell seconds, and Rand?
Yes, I did just want to explain why we're rejecting bids and waiving bids and accepting. We put this project out for bid and there were 4 plan holders. Unfortunately, we only received 1 bid. And we don't believe that if we go out for bid again, we would get more bids. Many contractors who often bid on our work, just believe that this is a very large job. It's very public facing and it's very time consuming, so they just don't have the capacity to take it on right now. We had budgeted $675,000 and this came in at $727,000. So we were able to, through our engineers, work with the one contractor who did submit a bid. His references came in great, so we have no concerns about his performance. We were able to work with him and take out 2 line items. So one, we had done an addendum to do some additional work on Edward Street and we were able to take that out. And then, we also took out some sidewalk work that our crews will be able to complete to save some money, and that got us back within the budget range.
Just curious, why do you think there wasn't more than 1 bid on a job this size? Did you have any insight on that?
Yeah, so kind of as I noted, it was a very large job. It would take a lot of time. It requires state permits. It crosses a state highway. It's a very, very nuanced job and, many of our common contractors just don't have the capacity to take it on now. It's something that, if you rebid it in the spring, you may still only get 1 bid and it may be higher. So we spoke with our engineers and asked if they recommended, going this route or rebidding, and they recommended going this route, so.
And you said we had budgeted 675 and this is 680, so pretty much.
Yes, the other element that we will have to face is this is taking the service lines out to the, curb stops. We will have to run service lines from the curb stop into the buildings. We're identifying how many of those service lines we have, and that will be a separate element of this project that will come later. We're hoping, we can get a local contractor to work with on that.
And this is from point to where?
This is, all the way through State Street. Dave, do you have the specific?
It starts there across from the old Melnot building and it goes to basically AutoZone.
So it's that whole stretch.
Perfect. Any further discussion on this?
Was this, a known need before we refinished a brand new road on State Street?
In my opinion, yes, and in the street superintendent's opinion, we should have replaced the water main and then refinish the street. We do believe we shouldn't penalize our downtown business
Right.
owners because of that decision. There is a need now. The approach that the city has been trying to take, over the last couple of years is to, when we are refinishing a street, let's replace what's under it first if needed, so that we're not, duplicating our efforts there.
The lead service line had a lot to do with this project as well.
Yes, the state of Illinois is requiring us to replace lead service lines. There are several lead service lines under this street, so that kind of expedited the timeline for us.
I don't doubt any of that, I just wanted the public to be aware that this should have been done, in my opinion, prior to.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Garcia.
Aye.
Sisson.
Aye.
Garrell.
Aye.
Zumwalt.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Alderperson Garcia.
I make a motion to approve a resolution for a professional services agreement with HMG Engineers for construction management for the state street water main replacement project.
All right, we have a motion on the floor from Alderperson Garcia. Can I get a second, please? Alderperson Holloway. Any further discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Holloway.
Aye.
Zumwalt.
Aye.
Huffman.
Aye.
Sisson. Garrell.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Kellenberger.
Aye.
All right, now we just need a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Alderperson Garrell and Kellenberger, first and second. Roll call, please.
Zumwalt. Sisson.
Take care.
Garrell.
Aye.
Huffman. Garcia. Kellenberger.
Aye.
Holloway.
Aye.
See what I from.